what we would do around here. So our next speaker is the fabulous Miss Janice Spaulding, Dr. Janice Spaulding. You know, she's a college graduate, two different colleges. Stanford is one of these magnificent schools that she's attended. She is a specialist in medicine. And when I say a specialist in medicine, in a holistic approach to medicine, she not only has an MD, but she has reached out to gain more knowledge in the Nutraveda world of a holistic approach and wellness. So, Dr. Jana, if you would please come in and share with us your insight today.
I might have to send this thing back.
Might help if I unmute myself. Are you all able to hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Miss Kim. As one of our early morning callers referred to you, the doctor of life. Forget the titles. You have deep experience in life that I learn from every time you share. It's an honor to share this platform with you. Um, so, before we talk about the immunity stack, I just wanted to share because people, they see MD and they see doctor and they think, oh, wow, this person is so accomplished. They must have it all together. I wish I had, and I wonder what their life really is. And doctors are people like everyone else. And, I look at this image and she looks so happy. She looks so confident. And she is, because I am right now. I'm very grateful for so many blessings, but it was not always like that. When my mother was diagnosed with dementia and she lived in another country, I faced an interesting dilemma. Not only was it the traveling to be with her, but I myself was not well, seriously not well. And I didn't think I could do it. But this was mommy. This was mommy. This was my mom. And I made some decisions and was able to make it down there, not feeling well, miserable the entire time, and wondering if I could do it. The motivator for doing it, even though there were so many barriers, was that this is my mother who I love. This is the woman who brought me into the world. And that was more powerful than the challenges, than the not feeling well, than the fear that I would end up, in a hospital in a third world country. It was bigger than all of that. I don't know why it was on my heart to share that today, but one of the things that I've learned since getting around this bunch, since getting into this business with Nutraveda, is that it is okay to love myself with that same determination that I loved my mother with, because it allowed me to overcome so many challenges. And now I look back and I go, oh, if I was able to do that, then I can face the challenges I have today. So, shall we go back to the slides? Immunity Stack is the product star of the night tonight. And we've talked about it in previous weeks. The Immunity Stack is a combination of 4 products: Ambrosia, Defense, Renew, and you see probiotics here. And just an update for everyone, temporarily, while our company is reformulating the probiotics, the Immunity Stack will have relief in the place of probiotics, only on a temporary basis. So if you order an Immunity Stack, just be prepared for the fact that it will have Defense, Relief, Renew, and Ambrosia. We don't have time to get into why, but if you keep hanging with us, you will learn that the relief also contribute significantly to protection that will shore up our immunity. Let's go to the next slide. In the past, I've gotten a little bit deeper into the individual products. And I don't want to review that today, but I would like to spend a little bit of time on the benefits of the immunity stack. Now, you notice we're talking about 4 products at the same time. And that is because although each one individually gives you benefit, mixing them all together is more than just adding benefit, it multiplies because they all together are more than the sum of their parts. All this entire collection helps our own body's health. It helps our bodies defend themselves, stay healthy, stay strong. And so it isn't one ingredient for one problem. It's everything working together. And we've talked about on prior weeks 6 other benefits of taking the immunity stack. Number 7, holistic wellness. So it doesn't just make one thing better. It helps our physical bodies. It helps our cognition, our thinking, and it helps your emotional health. Benefit number 8, it's so easy to take these products. Starting with what's going to be the relief instead of the probiotic. It's a tablet. You put it under your tongue. It dissolves. It tastes delicious. Defense, same thing. Renew, it's a little capsule and it just slides down. It's not hard to swallow. I have swallowed it without water a couple times. It's that easy to swallow. I don't recommend that, but then the crown jewel of the immunity stack, which is the ambrosia. It's as good as candy, at least to me. And if you haven't tried it, you've got to try it. So it's so easy to take it. And then family wellness. Now, it's going into flu season. It's getting chillier. We stay inside more. We can exchange and interchange microorganisms, viruses, bacteria with our loved ones. And we bring them into the house, and that's why we have more colds and infections in the winter. It's not so much because of the weather, it's because we're in closer settings with people. So if my immunity is strong, so that if a virus or a microbe cannot get into my system because my system will immediately get it out, then I won't bring it home to my family members. And so just one person in the house getting better actually improves the health of everyone in the house. Okay, take a look at this very quick video. What's in your
I dare you to drink tap water after watching this video. This is absolutely insane. You might just want to show this to your friends and family to raise awareness.
This is electrolysis. It shows you what's in the water that you otherwise wouldn't see.
You might just save someone by showing them this video.
Now, when we talk about filtered water, we don't talk about any filtered water. We talk about Care Blue water, which is one of the products that you can obtain through We Are One. Now, another insider tip. Right now, if you want to order the pitcher, the water bottle, the straw, you have to call customer service to get it. Because if you go on the We Are One platform, you won't find it yet. But if you call the customer service number, and if you don't know what it is, ask the person who invited you, and you say you want to order, I would say 2 complete sets with the pitcher, the water bottle, and the straw. You won't only get filtered water, you will get the highest grade of filtered water and the water will be alkalinized. This is so much better than what's out there on the market because all water is not the same. So, Dr. Janice, weekly health tips this week are more about water. First of all water is not created equal. And unfortunately, we have a lot of tap water and other sources of water that are polluted. And so, what is the main ingredient in our bodies? I wonder if anyone would care to take a guess. You know, when you buy a product and there's a label on it, the first ingredient is the one that's the highest amount in that product. What's the main ingredient in our bodies? Anybody?
Water.
Water. Between 45 and 75% of our weight is water, the average being around 65. And so it's what we are made of more than anything else. So we would want to put good water into our bodies. Everyone, I'd like to ask you to take out a piece of paper and a pen and get ready to write. We have 3 things about water that I'd like you to write down today. And these are all different ways in which we can use water for our health and well-being. Okay, number 1, water to drink by itself. Water to drink by itself. Every time I'm at my computer, there's a big glass of water or bottle of water. Okay, number 2, water to include. Include, you may be wondering, why is she saying include? Well, for those of us who are coffee drinkers, we make coffee with water, right? So which water are you putting in your coffee maker when you make coffee? If you're putting tap water in coffee, but you're not putting your filtered alkalinized water in coffee, you're drinking polluted coffee. A lot of the times when we cook with water, right? It's an ingredient that we add to recipes. Which water are you using in there? That was number 2, water to include. And number 3, water to wash. So we know fruits and veggies are good for us. We know that we want to eat bright foods, and most of the bright foods are fruits and veggies, but we have to wash them. For those of you who believe organic is better, which in most cases I agree it is, well, you don't have pesticides when foods grow organically. That means that you have more bugs. And so you want to wash your fruits and your veggies before you eat them. What water are you washing them with? If you're trying to make something clean, but the water that you're using is not clean, then you're defeating the purpose. So those are our 3 tips for the week. Water to drink by itself, water to include in our food, and water to wash. Now, this has nothing to do with water really, but Ms. Kim, we do have our guest following, or are you giving us some more tidbits right now?
No, our guest will be following.
I wanted our guest to know about this. I think he's familiar with it. So I have been hearing for weeks, you have got to get this book. This book is so good. And so finally last week I said, okay, I keep hearing about it. I keep hearing the wisdom. Let me get it for myself. So I was so happy it arrived yesterday. And I didn't just get one because what's the point? If it's that good, I know I'm gonna give it to someone. So I just happened to open it last night. And I opened it to page 29, and it says the 3rd stage of life is the stage of power. It is in this stage that you perfect your ability to make things happen. This stage ranges from 40 or 50 years to 60 or 75 years of age. It should all come together in this third stage of life. During this stage, you generally attain your greatest successes and experience your greatest failures. And then moving down, it says, the challenge of this third stage of life is choose you this day whom you will serve. Joshua 24:15, you either serve good or evil. It's your choice. The third stage is where your true metal comes out. And with
Dr.
that,
Jana, you rock.
I'd just like to turn it over to the man
Oh
who
my gosh. You
rest
know,
of this.
I tell you what, we couldn't plan this any better. You're incredible, my dear.
And
Absolutely.
I did not plan it, Dr. Harris. I really didn't.
That
This
was
was not
divine
a plan.
planning, divine.
And I opened it and I said, oh, I gotta share this with everyone.
Well, folks, it is my honor absolutely to introduce Dr. Herbert Harris. Individuals that he has impacted, the number of people that he has impacted is in the tens of thousands of, just it's mind-boggling the amount of people who have had such a profound effect from his knowledge base and what he's going to share with us. So without I don't want to take up any more time. I want to turn it over to Dr. Herbert. Dr. Herbert, if you would, please come in. Make sure you unmute, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see. Let me can you make my screen bigger?
You are front and center, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pin myself so I can see myself. Okay. Number one, thank you so much for having me on your training and your broadcast tonight. I am always honored and excited to share, what I've learned over the years with the intention that it will help you do, be, have all that you desire. It's a special thing, a treat for me to speak for and with Coach because your leader, my best friend, is a person who I say, well, first, he was the first young man I knew that ever owned or purchased a Rolls Royce. I think Dave was about 24 years old, and I'm like, wow. Okay. That got my attention. I have a special appreciation for the Rolls Royce. I worked with Reverend Ike as head of his education division, Science of Living. So when you meet a young man that age who has been that successful, you have to pay attention to anything he says. And, I look back and in 1988, Dave called me and he said, I want you to fly out to Ohio, Yellow Springs, Ohio, Dublin, Ohio, for this incredible opportunity called NDEC. And I'm sharing this because one person can change the complete direction of your life. And I went out there, me and my ex-wife, and I was just amazed. It was the ultimate transformational experience. And to tell you how profound it is, we all had an ID card, and I still have, let's see, you can see it there, the Dream Makers Club, Herbert Harris Jr. And that organization, that company, that experience that Dave introduced me to was a turning point in my life. Many times when you do things, you may be good at a lot of things, but you finally hit that one thing and you like, that's me. And so when I had this experience with Dave, I said, this is me, no matter what happens. as you were talking, I was looking at the back of this card, and I want to just read a little portion to you because my friend Dave has lived it. I have lived it. And this has made all the difference in my life. And it said this: let it be known that we, the dream makers, do hereby declare war on poverty, negativity, couch potatoes, and all forms of mediocrity, realizing that since the beginning of time, the only real conflict is the struggle between the forces of evil over the forces of good, and that the one thing necessary for the forces of evil to take over the planet is for a few good people to do nothing. I therefore pledge to give my all to support the concept of helping others to fulfill their dreams. And from the moment I've known Dave, that has been what he has always been about. And so, Dave, I thank you so much for that, because that experience there changed the trajectory of my life. And from that point on, I have, from that day in 1988 until this moment right here, I have been on this arc. And so thank you so much, my friend. The company that I've been with for many years, and I still receive checks. One of the beauties of network marketing, direct marketing, affiliate marketing is that once you build it, you can receive income for the rest of your life. And so the company that I've been getting a check from for the last, 15 years, 2009 we started. And a company that started just a lot like this company, our sales were about $3 million a year. And we got started, and we needed something special, something to make a difference. You know, the key to network marketing and success in this industry is duplication. And when we say the way to get rich, the way to achieve success is to help a whole lot of other people get rich and achieve success, and it'll happen for you automatically. But there's a process that makes it happen. And so when we started with that company, I had developed what we called the baseball diamond. And one of the reasons that was important was because people couldn't see how to be successful. They needed a diagram. They needed something that they could see to say, this is how you do this business. When you buy a McDonald's, you get a manual, you get training, everything is cut and dry. All you have to do is show up and do what they tell you. In network marketing, it's not always that straightforward. And so we developed at that point, I developed a system called the baseball diamond. And we started training our people. We had a group here in Wilmington, and we started training our people. And over time, the company saw the value of it. And for 3 years, I traveled all around the country, at least once a month, and generally 2 weekends a month, traveling and training on the baseball diamond. And we call it our basic success training for the company. And to give you some statistics, the sales for that company, the first year went from 3 million, the second year to 10 million in sales, the third year to 40 million in sales, the fourth year, 125 million in sales, and by the fifth year, we were doing over $200 million a year in sales. And the baseball diamond is what took us there. Our group was really the leader in that process. And over time, when I look back, what I found, I was pulling up a little picture, is that over the last, from 2009 until the present, we have done between $150 million in sales, between 150 and 200 million, my group. And using this process, this group grew from 29 people I sponsored personally, grew into 6,000 distributors. Our sales were over $1 million a month for the group. And we created, in that group, there were about 24 people who were making well over $200,000 a year, up to at least $500,000 a year. As a matter of fact, the top person that we trained in that business was making $1 million a year. And so you say, what is the secret? The secret is that it's a duplication system that makes all the difference. One of the keys to our success that really sustained us and sustains us to this day was it was a system based on customers and distributors. And so at one point, we developed somewhere around 45,000 customers. And so what that said in the business was the customers, when you have a great product like you have, and by the way, Coach, I have my water, I have my filter. When you have a great product like you have, you get customers. The customers don't leave. Distributors may come and go because sometimes when a distributor learns the system, they're not going anywhere. And that baseball diamond system is a critical one to take you from where you are to where you want to be. Over these next 41 days, and when you were speaking, Coach, we have 41 days left in this year. And it's in these 41 days, you can literally change your life. Now, when I say that, I mean this. That once you master the system, and Coach is going to be sharing it with you, the baseball diamond, but it gives you a vision of how to do the business, that if you follow the system, it will take you exactly where you want to go. I'll give you another example. Bill Britt in Amway. Bill Britt was asked when Bill Britt made his transition, he was earning, his estate was receiving $6 million a year in residual income. And someone asked what was the secret. And he said he showed the plan. And show the plan means do a full presentation about the products, the company, the industry, and why you should do it. He said he showed the plan to 1,200 people. 900 people said no. And I want to point that out because many times as you're building this business, a lot of people will say no. So basically, 75% of the people he talked to said no. And why do people say no? Many times they just don't have a dream. Sometimes they just can't see themselves being successful. Sometimes they may have fear of failure. They may have tried something before and it didn't work. And so 3/4 of the people, 900 people said no, but 300 people said yes. Of the 300 people who said yes, 85 of them did a little something. In other words, 85 of them created enough income to stay around, a good part-time to full-time income. Pretty much the money they were making before the business, they were actually able to generate it in the business. Of the 85 who did a little something, 35 did a lot. And these are people who created six-figure incomes, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 a year. But he said of the 35 that did a lot, 11 of them made him a millionaire. And I say that because 1 in 100. You know, most programs tell you make a list of 100 people. That's why. Because you want to find that one person. So now what's the difference? When we look at 41 days to the end of the month, why should you get busy? Why should you put the pedal to the metal? When I was a child, my dad said, you have to straighten up and fly right. If you want to get serious about creating something in your life, you have to straighten up and fly right. Straighten up means learn the system, learn the process. System means save yourself time, energy, and money. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Learn the system, and the system will carry you. That once you learn the system, then it becomes a habit. You follow it, and it takes you where you want to go. So over these next 41 days, what would my recommendation be? And it would be this. Are you dreaming big enough? If you can dream big enough, You have something in this program that most people don't have. Most people don't get rich, don't achieve their dreams, don't achieve the potential they have in life because they never have a vehicle. They never have a company or a product that can take them where they want to go. LifeVantage, the company we had, took us to become millionaire status. I was looking back and I was looking at a plaque, and when they honored all those who had made over $1 million in the business, and actually that was like about 7 years ago. And since that time, it's just been better but it's been residual income. We weren't working as hard. What drives you is your dream. So over these next 41 days, you want to do what I call put the pedal to the metal. You want to straighten up, learn the process, and fly right, which means do it diligently each and every day. Oprah Winfrey once said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams." This business can be your dream-making machine. You have to simply master it. And so what can you do over these next 41 days? And there are 3 things. Number 1, to realize who you are and that you are destined for greatness. Les Brown always says you have greatness within you. Each and every one of you here tonight has greatness within you. And to recognize that greatness. The second is to make a decision. Make a decision to go for it, to go for that big dream. Whatever that dream is, to go for it, and over these next 41 days to do what is essential to lay the foundation for that dream. Because where you end this year is where you start next year. So if I've seen people say, oh, it's only 41 days left. Why should I push? Why don't I just cool it? Like get myself organized and plan and get through the holidays. You know what'll happen? When you go into next year making excuses, procrastinating, no matter how good it sounds, when you go into next year doing anything other than being flat out successful, flat out working on your dream, you start next year at a low energy level, and chances are you'll repeat that same thing at the end of 2025. So 2024 is your year to really make a difference in your life. So make a decision to go for it. And then the third thing is to see it as already done. We often have visualization exercises because if you can see it, you can be it. So let's break it down. The idea of realization who you are. This means, think of the story, the parable of the prodigal son. The prodigal son had taken his money. He told his father, Father, give me my piece of the rock. He went out into the world and he parted the money away and he ended up broke, feeding somebody else's pigs. And really and truly, we are everybody in the Bible. Many of us right now in our lives are in a bad situation. We might be in the pig pens of our own life. It might be the pig pen of a bad relationship. It might be the pig pen of drugs. It might be the pig pen of just negative thinking. Okay. But the prodigal son did something powerful. He said, in the scripture it says, he came to himself. He said, there's food enough in my father's house. The servants are eating better than I'm eating. And so this idea of realizing who you are, saying that whatever your condition is right now, whatever's going on in your life right now, you have the vehicle that can transform your life. And that if it's not exactly the way you want it to be, you only deserve the best. You only deserve success. You only deserve happiness. You only deserve joy. And with the products you have, you only deserve good health. Once you have that realization, then that detaches you from whatever's going on in your life right now. In other words, from this point on, for the next 41 days, it's a no excuse zone. No excuses. Only success. Only success. When we finish this class tonight, you write that down 100 times. Only success, only success. And as you write it, visualize what your life is going to look like by the end of this year. Then, so don't matter about your condition, don't matter what's going on in the past. Right now, you are a child of God, and you are entitled, you have a birthright of abundance and success and good health. Then the second part of that, the prodigal son says, I will arise and go to my father. And the interesting thing, that means you got to take action. So when we look at this business right now, we look at its potential, and you look at where you want to go, and you say, hey, I deserve to be successful in this business, then you have to take action to confirm that thought. And when he says, I will arise and go to my father, it means that you have to do something. That when we look at these next 41 ways, you have to do something. And the beautiful thing is, you remember the parable, it says, when he went to his father, while he was a long way off. And so this means that the moment you make that decision and recognize who you are and arise to start moving toward your greatness, the universe starts running to meet you. The father ran to meet him with the robes and the rings. And so this idea, this realization of who you are prepares you now for part 2, which is a decision to manifest your big dream. So once you make this decision, you got to put it into action. And see, this is the beautiful thing about a decision. It says this, what is your dream? What is that dream that you want to be, do, and have? What would you like to accomplish over these next 41 days? The Bible says, write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. And so I know Coach Smile is going to get with you. We have all the tools, but you always bring yourself to the party. 2 people can go to the same party. One person says, oh, it's a great, exciting party. Good-looking people, good-smelling people, they're dancing. The music is great. Person standing right beside them can say, oh, man, it's a terrible party. Everybody's stuck up. All these people running around dressed up like they're going to church. Same party. It's different perspective. The moment you decide that you want to make this business do the things you need it to do to get you where you want to be by the end of this year, you have to write that vision down. And the Habakkuk says, write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. So once you decide what you want to be, do, and have, and write the vision down of what you want to accomplish over these next 41 days, maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's a certain amount of money, maybe it's a certain amount of people involved in the program. You know, we can make good excuses. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. People are not interested. Flip the script. It's Thanksgiving and everybody comes home. Okay. It's Christmas and people are unfocused. In Christmas, everybody comes to visit their family and return. So there are people around you haven't seen for a long time. So it's all a matter of perspective. But something very profound happened when you read that scripture. It says, for the vision is for an appointed time. So this means that whatever you decide you want to accomplish over these next 41 days, and it has to have certain characteristics, but whatever that thing is, you can accomplish it if you follow the system. If you take the baseball diamond and work with it step by step, follow it right down to the letter, that vision can manifest in your life. Once you've written that vision, then you got to make a plan. See, so when you make that decision to go for your big vision, your big dreams, and you write them down and you start making a plan, and I recommend that the 12 Universal Laws of Success was really written for network marketers. One of the Market America bought 25,000 copies one time. And because they realized that the level of success depends on the level of personal development. And so once you've laid out that vision, you use that chapter 7, the action, the law of action, to write it out so that you have a step-by-step plan to execute over these next 41 days, so that you have your list of people to talk to, so that you interact and make your posts on social media, so that you respond to the different posts on social media, the likes, the dialogue that you carry on with people you've never met, but who you somehow piqued their interest and you all have connected. And you go through the numbers. You see, this is a numbers program. Remember I said 1,200 presentations to 11 people who made him a millionaire. You go through the numbers and consistent every day to have a daily method of operation that is focused on what we call IPAs, income producing activities. It's very easy to get off in the weeds and start doing organization stuff. It's important to be organized, but it's more important to make your calls. It's important to have a nice, neat office, but it's more important to follow up. It's important to keep your house clean, but it's more important to do those presentations because the numbers don't lie. Somebody once say, liars may figure, but figures don't lie. I guarantee you no one on this call or anywhere else can say, I did the number of presentations that I was supposed to make and not have success. Even if you're a terrible presenter, so much stuff is online, so many things the presentations are preset for you. If you can literally press play, show a video, show a PowerPoint, listen to somebody else. So there's no excuse to go through the numbers. So once you made your plan, you have your daily method of operation, and that includes laying out your plans the night before, scheduling the activities that must be done, being accountable. And I recommend, and Coach will have you set up accountability groups where you all keep track of one another and inspire and motivate each other when stuff doesn't go as well as you'd like it to go. But if you do that, we put another spiritual principle into play, the mastermind principle. Everybody on this call, everybody on this training tonight, if you all make a collective agreement to that, we're going to do it. Between now and the end of this month, over these next 41 days, we're going to be flat out. We're going to schedule our activities. We're going to treat this business like it was a part-time job. We're going to have regular hours. We're going to have regular sessions. That's why Coach has these morning calls, these motivation calls to get you into what I call the rhythm of success. Once you start doing that, the results will come. Once you start doing that, you'll find that if you go through the numbers, even when you don't want to do it, to go on and do it, make yourself do it. One of the greatest things that you can have, one of the greatest determinants of success is consistency and persistency. When you can be consistent and do the activities every day, follow that baseball diamond, go around that thing. And then persistent, where you do it and you never quit. You do it until you get it. You cannot fail. And then the third part is to see it as already done. You see, our minds, what we see in our minds is the blueprint for our life. If you think back, anything you ever really, really wanted, wanted it really, really badly, anything that you wanted down deep inside, you got it. When I was a young man, I wanted a car so badly. I'd go there. I was in North Carolina, you could get a license at 16. I went to that car place every day after school. I saw that car. I looked at that car. In those days, a brand new car was only $3,000. Okay. And I turned 16, I think it was on a Thursday, and I got me a car that Friday. I brought the car home. My mother came home. She sees the car outside. She said, whose car is that? I said, my car. She said, what do you mean, your car? You don't even have a job. Okay. I was in the 11th grade. She said, you don't even have a job. How's somebody going to sell you a car? She marched me around to the car dealer. and she was yelling at him and whatnot. And my dad and I had the same name, and so I guess if he did a credit check, I'm sure he checked my daddy's. But the man told my mother, he said, "Ma'am," he said, "no disrespect," he said, "but anybody who comes in here with $1,000 is going to walk out with a car. And in your life, I guarantee you that anything you really, really wanted, you got it." And so this idea of seeing it as already done begins to create a vibration that literally sucks you into it. When you want to accomplish something, I know when Dave wanted that Rolls Royce, he could see that thing. He could smell the leather in that thing. He knew what color he wanted. When you wanted anything to really down deep inside, when you can see yourself being it, see yourself doing it, and start to talk to yourself about how sweet it is, and you get into the feeling aspect of it, see, feeling gets the blessing. The first law of success says, a man shall have, and I'll call it a mind shall have whatsoever it thinks, in other words, the rational part, in its heart. And that's the feeling part. And so when you can see where you want to be by the end of the year, when you can feel where you want to be by the end of the year, in the Bible it says the promised land, that's your promised land. It says walk the width and breadth of the promised land. In other words, get into the feeling nature of what you want. If you can do that, nothing is impossible. These 41 days can be the 41 days that make all the difference in your life. Then on January 1st of 2025, you're going to look at that day and you're going to say, I did it. I got it done. I made the promotion. I built the team. I put the foundation in place. I got the people involved. Because when you can see it like that and feel it like that, it cannot fail to come to pass. So I'll close with this, that each of us has greatness inside, that don't get sidetracked by past failures. Many of us have tried other businesses and they didn't work. Don't be sidetracked by past failures. Look at those as dress rehearsals for success. Don't be sidetracked by the doubters, the dream snatchers. You see, everybody doesn't have a dream. A dream is very personal. That's yours. So nobody else can get excited about your dream like you can. So don't worry about the doubters, the dream snatchers. They will steal your dream and give you nothing in return. Don't fear the unknown. Maybe you have never been successful before. Well, this is your time. You say your affirmations every day. This is my time. I succeed in everything I do. I attract the right people into my life. When you start sending out that vibration, you cannot fail. So realize you deserve good things. You deserve success. You deserve abundance. You deserve good health. You deserve happiness. You deserve love. You deserve prosperity. You deserve money. Dream big. Make a decision that whatever's going on in your life right now, you want something different. Even if things are going good for you, you want more. Sometimes you look and you say, man, everything is doing great. My building is growing. Well, do more. Anytime you get little success, build on it. Never take your pedal off the metal. Many times people stop for rest and reward too soon. They start getting a little success and they take no. Keep your pedal to the metal. You'll know when your business becomes completely self-sustaining. We call it critical mass. When you've trained enough people that they can literally carry on without you. Dave is a master trainer at that. If you notice, he has people doing stuff you never thought you could do before. But once you master it, then you become an example for others. That decision is a powerful decision. And when you make it, be totally committed to it. Income producing activities, results producing activities, daily method of operation. That will get you there. And then always see it the way you want it to be. Let your dreams be the blueprint for your life. Be like the butterfly. You know, the butterfly comes from a caterpillar. And so many of us may think we're caterpillars, but we come into this transformation, into this business, into this opportunity, and we start working at it. We start going at it every day in every way, working together. Then all of a sudden, that cocoon is there to protect you and to uplift you. And then at the end of this year, in 41 days, your wings are spread and you're that butterfly, free to fly to the sun and to manifest your dreams. So, folks, it's in your hands now. When Dave and I were in Ohio, I had a vision of being a speaker. And the vision ended like this. I had thousands of people there, and I had everybody standing up, and I had them say the Champion's Creed. I said, this time it's me in the winner's circle. This time it's me who gets the prize. This time I've really, really made it. This time my dream is realized. And everybody said it, 5,000 people. And I turned around and I told Bill Dempsey, I said, Bill, they're ready. Send them home. So tonight, you're ready. Go home and fly. Do what you need to do to get where you want to go, to be the person you want to be, doing the things you want to do, having whatever you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Back to you.
Oh my word. Ow. Oh, I want you to know I have been taking absolute copious notes on my phone, literally, like notes. I've got 10 pages of notes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Harris. That is absolutely incredible. I don't know about anybody else, but I can tell you, I feel like my heart is singing, and I've